Harold Yobu, National Vice Chairman, Southeast Zone.
ABC!
And the winner is
to Be Unstoppable at Performances and Global Conversations at the 9th All-African Music Awards, AFRIMA, January 7 to 11, 2026.
Featuring African Music Business Summit, a platform for business networking among global music professionals. January 8, 2026, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Eco Hotel and Suites, Lagos, Nigeria. Register at www.afrima.org.
January 9, 2026. Join us at AFRIMA Music Village, evening of high-octane music performances from over 25 African Music International superstars at the Ikeja City Mall, Alausa, Ikeke, 6 p.m. West African time.
January 11 comes with all the glitz and glam. Africa's global music superstars, celebrities, and international personalities at the 9th AFRIMA Awards. Red Carpet 3:30 award ceremony, 7 p.m. at Eco Convention Center, Eco Hotel and Suites, Lagos, Nigeria. Broadcast live to 84 countries.
To be hosted by Nigerian multi-talented superstar Foul, the Bad Guy, and Senegalese and broadcaster Lillian Maroon. Tickets and seat reservations, visit www.afrima.org. This is Africa Unfiltered, Unleashed Unstoppable.
Today, Rivers State House of Assembly began impeachment proceedings on Governor Siminalayi Fubara. And ANEC is explaining its reason for excluding the Labour Party from the FDC. Hello everyone, welcome to the program. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimberley right here. We will think that the political war will begin so early in the year. It's just the first 8 days. And you know what happens, culturally speaking, when 8th day in the life of a child, that the child will just start knowing its own name. But, well, for Rivers State, its political war just got defined in the first 8 days of the year. And we now know the name of the war. We'll be defining it for you tonight and giving you all the perspective that you need to know. First, let me serve you with one of your biggest stories today on the political scene. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, dismissed claims that it deliberately excluded Labour Party candidates from the forthcoming Federal Capital Territory area council elections, which has been scheduled for the 21st of February 2026. The commission says the controversy stems from unresolved leadership disputes within the Labour Party, which were settled by the Supreme Court in 2025 April, ruling that the tenure of the Julius Abure-led National Executive Committee had expired. And it says that despite this judgment, the faction went ahead to conduct primaries, prompting the commission to withhold access codes required for uploading candidates' detail in line with the law. And it further explains that the Labour Party has since instituted multiple suits across various courts seeking orders compelling the commission to issue access code, with most of the cases either dismissed or still pending. While an interim court order was briefly granted in December of 2025, INEC says it lapsed after 7 days and was not extended, leaving no valid court directive for the commission to act upon, declaring the matter sub judice. INEC insists it will continue to respect the judicial process and reaffirm its commitment to the Constitution, the Electoral Act, and the rule of law in the conduct of elections and party affairs. Those were INEC's explanation of saying Labour Party may not be participating in the FCT local council election. At least that is the much they can tell us for now on the fate of the Labour Party. But tonight, I'm taking you for a swim, this time in the Rivers political war. Are you ready with me, everyone? I'm going to let you in on what has been happening. I'll take you to the past, bring you to the present, and probably project for you what could be the political immediate future of Rivers State and the major players in it. I'll give you the political, the legal, and all of the angles that you need to know tonight. Sit tight, everyone. We're getting started in the swim. That seems to be a very interesting one. But before we get to that, let's serve you with some of the political roundup stories.
The Rivers State chapter of the All Progressives Congress, APC, has rejected the impeachment process initiated by the Rivers State House of Assembly against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy Ngozi Odu, describing the move as destabilizing and unnecessary. In a statement signed by the party's spokesperson, Darlington Muju, the party said it acknowledged the constitutional independence of the legislature, but would not support what it termed a resort to impeachment against an APC-led government. The party cautioned lawmakers, particularly its members in the Assembly, against yielding to external pressure capable of plunging the state into political turmoil. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has commended President Bola Tinubu and the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, for the temporary opening of the East-West Road, describing it as a long-awaited and world-class project. Speaking during a thank-you visit to Bonny in Rivers State, the minister says the road fulfilled President Tinubu's long-standing vision and stood as a clear evidence that the support given to the president in the 2023 elections was not in vain. In Oyo State, the renewed hope ambassador in the state, Teslim Folarin, has called on Nigerians to remain calm and supportive of the tax reforms introduced by the President Bola Tinubu administration, describing it as critical measures aimed at strengthening Nigeria's revenue base and ensuring sustainable national development. Senator Folarin stated this during the continuation of the 14th Federal Constituency tour across the Irepo, Olorunshogbo, Orelokwe Federal Constituency and the Atisbo, Saki, West Saki, East Federal Constituencies, where he explained that the new tax laws are not designed to impose traditional hardship on ordinary Nigerians. According to him, the reforms are focused on improving efficiency, blocking revenue leakages, and reducing Nigeria's long-standing overdependence on oil revenue. To Zamfara State, where the federal lawmaker representing Kaura Namoda, Birnin Magaji Federal Constituency, Honorable Aminu Jaji, has raised concerns over the alleged disenfranchisement in the ongoing All Progressives Congress electronic membership registration exercise, calling for independent investigations to safeguard fairness and party unity. Speaking at a press conference in Gusau, the chairman of Jaji political movement, Ishak Ajia, alleged that the e-registration exercise in Zamfara was being influenced in a manner that could exclude certain factions and key party officials from participating in or coordinating the process. Some members of the New Nigeria People's Party in Oyo State want inclusivity and accountability to take take root through government programs and policies. This is the consensus by stakeholders from different groups and political associations from the Southwest who are bothered about the future of Nigeria. At a parley held in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, they say when the citizens do not participate in politics, they hand over decision-making power to a few who may not act in their best interest.
There you have it. You've been served with your political roundup stories, and you are now up to speed. Let's get started, everyone, in this swim that I won't get you drowned, but you just got to stay with me and look at the bigger picture. I'm going to be giving you some of the angles that you need to know so that you can take the action that you need as a citizen. Now, let's begin. Nigerians work up to a very interesting political situation. It is a renewed hostilities, political war, and tense political firmament in Rivers State. Today, members of the State House of Assembly began impeachment proceedings against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy, Professor Ngozi Odu. They are being accused of gross misconduct during plenary presided over by the Speaker of the Rivers State Assembly, Honorable Martin Zamawule. The majority leader, Rivers State House of Assembly, Major Jack, read out the notice of allegations and the gross misconduct against Governor Fubara, and he was relying on Section 188 of the Nigerian Constitution. Honorable Jack read out 7 points of alleged gross misconduct against the governor, Sim Fubara. Some of the accusations include the demolition of the Assembly complex, extra budgetary spending, withholding funds meant for the Assembly Service Commission, a refusal to obey the Supreme Court on the financial autonomy of the House. Now, let me allow you to hear from the House's mouth the majority leader, Honorable Jack, Major Jack, who read out the accusation and the allegations and moved the motion of impeachment proceedings against Governor Siminalayi Fubara. And here is a moment where the majority leader moved that motion. Take a listen to him.
Hereby forward to you a notice of gross misconduct by the Governor of Rivers State in the performance of the functions of his office. Gross misconduct 1. Reckless and unconstitutional expenditure of public funds contrary to Section 120, 120, 112, and 122 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. Particulars of gross misconduct. A. That His Excellency Sir Siminalayi Fubara, TSS Aware, Governor of Rivers State, refused to present the Rivers State Appropriation Bill 2024 to the Rivers State House of Assembly, contrary to Section 121, 1 of the Constitution, and disobeyed the order of the Federal High Court in suit number FAC/ABJ/CS, that thus, as it stands in law, no appropriation bill of Rivers State has been presented, neither has any of such bill been passed into law as the purported presentation, passage, and signing into law of appropriation bill 2024 of Rivers State is void ab initio.
Honorable Major Jack, majority leader of the River State House of Assembly, he was the one with the lighter who sparked the fire today, early this morning. It was live on Channels Television. For those of you who don't watch, try to stay with the leading Nigerian news organization in the land. There you don't miss anything. We saw it live. We had it live right here on the and we saw it. We caught it for you. But that didn't end there. You know what happened? The Speaker of the House of Assembly, Honorable Martin Zamawule, also spoke. But this time around, I tried as much as possible for you to be able to get a perspective. It does look like Governor Fubara has committed a lot of sins against the Rivers State and against the Rivers State House of Assembly. According to the Speaker, it was very vehement and very passionate. In fact, highly emotional. Take a listen to him.
Refuse to present. Simlai Fubara is a mistake. He is a mistake. Rivers State has never had it this bad. In the entire Nigeria, Simlai Fubara and Professor.
All right, just hold on for a moment. I want my viewers to be able to get the scenes according to the Rivers speaker. There's a mix-up there. I'm going to give you this particular one when the speaker was talking about how it defines Governor Fubara. But here is what he has to say about what the thing that the governor has, the sins the governor has committed. Here is it.
Or statement of account of Rivers people. Other governors are saying how they are receiving money, how much they receive, how much they have spent since he became governor. Since May 2020, since May 29th, 2023, Simlai Fubara and Godswill Madu were sworn in. They have never for once issued any statement of account of Rivers State. Not once. And the governor is boasting that they are going to call us and give us order not to follow the constitution. And people are going in the media, people that we respect, elders that we respect are supposed to call him to order. They are going to tell him that what he's doing is good. Rather than caution the governor for his infractions on the constitution, they are clapping for him. Rather than calling on the governor, they are calling on our FCT minister, who is helping Mr. President in Abuja, and making it look like it's a problem between the FCT minister and the governor. It is not FCT minister and the governor. It is the governor and the constitution. The governor is a threat to our democracy. It is better we all resign and leave the governor and those he wants to use to defraud Rivers people. We cannot continue to allow this to happen. We sit here, elected people, and we cannot follow, we cannot enforce the constitution. Then why are we here? Why are we sitting here? Why were we elected? For how long are we going to allow this to happen? Distinguished colleagues, enough is enough.
All right. That's the speaker, the leader in the House of Assembly, another arm of government, which constitutionally is allowed to be able to make the decision they did today, according to Section 188 of the Nigerian Constitution, 1999, as amended. But the speaker did not end there. He went further and gave a definition of how the House and himself perceive Governor Simlai Fubara. I thought this was actually very graphic. Take a listen.
Simlai Fubara is a mistake. He is a mistake. Rivers State has never had it this bad. In the entire Nigeria, Simlai Fubara and Professor Ngozi Odu, these are the only two people in the office at the sub-national level that are yet to present 2026 appropriation bill. The entire country. I'm sure if you go to the entire West African sub-region or even Africa, you will not find any sub-national government that has not presented an appropriation bill for 2026. Who would believe that in this 21st century, that a state like Rivers State will not have an appropriation bill either presented or passed? Nothing is holding the governor from presenting it. He chose not to. And the governor has been boasting that he will always go and meet the president for the president to call us and give us instruction. He has been boasting, he has been saying it to his followers that this assembly were nothing but toothless bulldog, that this 10 Rivers House assembly, we cannot do anything, we cannot enforce the constitution. This is a sad commentary for our democracy. Sir Simlai Fubara and Professor Nnamuma Odu, they are nothing but a threat to our nascent democracy.
There you have it. The Speaker, Martin Zamawule, earlier today. But indeed, this is not the very first that we are seeing. This is the second term in about a year. In fact, less than a year. that an impeachment move will be made against Governor Simlai Fubara. Here is a timeline for all of you to remember what has happened over the last few months. And a lot has actually happened. But let me take you back to what we have seen that's played out, a timeline of the political crises in Rivers State. And let me show you. So you've seen that there was a time that we had the burning, or what some people would say was arson, on the House of Assembly complex in Rivers State. First, this was in 29th of October 2023. In December of 2023, we saw the demolition of Rivers State Assembly complex. The 14th to 17th March, we saw the Rivers State House of Assembly initiate an impeachment proceedings against Similari Fubara and his deputies. Similar thing that we saw today. On the 18th of March, President Bola Tinubu declared state of emergency in Rivers. I was explaining that if he had not taken that decision, the governor would have been moved and we had thrown the state into chaos. It became a constitutional matter, a lot of debate in the land. Don't forget, what led to that major problem in Rivers State was this similar thing, and it is happening right again. On the 20th of March, the National Assembly approved state of emergency. On the 18th of September 2025, President Tinubu leaves emergency rule in Rivers State after it clocked 6 months, which was provided in his issuance of the state of emergency in that state. The APC in Rivers State has been reacting to this. Don't forget that the governor had moved to the APC, and majority of the members in the House of Assembly, including Speaker Amawile, are all members of the APC in Rivers State. They were actually new members of the APC. I'm being joined by the spokesperson of the APC in Rivers State, Mr. Darlington Wajo, who is live for us virtually. Thank you so much, Honorable Wajo, for joining us tonight on the program. Give us an understanding. Immediately we saw the response from the party, not from the governor, to this. And part of the news just coming in is the letter that has now been transmitted to Governor Similai Fubara and Deputy Governor Professor Audu, which is part of the constitutional process of impeachment, which means that they should communicate that impeachment proceedings within 7 days. Now they have done that. Immediately we saw from your office that the APC is rejecting the proceeding against Governor Fubara and his deputy. But what do you imagine that is going on? This is largely a political move, has a legal undertone to it. But what do you imagine that is going on? Members of the same party against their governor and their deputy. Isn't that a crisis of the political party internal politics?
Well, good evening, Nigerians. Thanks for yielding this platform to me to make some explanations or clarifications on the statement earlier on issued in the day. Now, I think that part of what that statement aims to achieve is to arrest the rather conflagrating situation which has been simmering of Rivers State, who today is now a member of the All Progressive Congress, including the Deputy Governor. And so that statement clearly calls on the members of the State House of Assembly, the majority of whom are members of our great party, to sheath their sword and drop this process in order to allow for eminent party leaders and stakeholders to intervene once again and ensure that the peace is restored permanently and that the state, for one, who moves forward and leaves the era or the domain of endless cycle of crisis. And so that is what that statement aims at achieving. And I do hope and know that with the fact that we now have a governor on the platform of the All Progressive Congress, we believe strongly that peace will be achieved at the end of the day. Because we not also forget the fact that achieving the process of impeachment under Section 188 of the Constitution as amended, is not an easy, or it's not a stroll in the park. You would look at what the constitutional provisions are, the steps that have to be taken. Yes, 7 days notice will be served on the governor, within which he has to respond to the allegations by the members of the State House of Assembly. And those responses to the allegations must be served on each member of the House of Assembly, after which another 14 days will be given for the House to look at the responses of the governor and then possibly drop the process of impeachment based on the responses given by the governor. And the process can only continue if they feel dissatisfied with the response of the governor before the Speaker can now empower the Chief Judge of the state to set up a 7-man unbiased panel of men of integrity to now investigate the allegations. And that committee will now, that investigative committee or panel will now have another 3 months to look at those allegations, after which they either turn down or write back to the House of Assembly to say, okay, we've looked at this allegation, gentlemen, we find nothing grievous, we find no gross misconduct, and it should end here. So, but as a political party, we do not believe that the House of Assembly and the governor should go the full hog with this kind of unnecessary banters. We believe that with previous intervention by the president and the leader of our great party, who has done so much to ensure that peace is restored in APC in Rivers State, and indeed the entirety of Rivers State. Well, I do not believe that any stakeholder in APC in Rivers State will be interested in derailing the efforts of our president.
So, without initial establishment of the intentions and the perspective of the APC in Rivers State, I'd like to know, have you been able to speak with Governor Fubara? Is there any communication to him? Because what happened today, they're just a few miles away between the Rivers governor's office and the assembly complex where that happened. Any communication between the two of you or the party and Governor Fubara? Has he been able to communicate politically or officially?
Okay.
Well, Shehu, I want to say to you that in the arena of politics, when you see a seeming family affair, you have to be careful to throw yourself or your opinions or views into the public arena. But like I said before, the statement we issued is a cautionary statement to arrest the simmering situation in order not to allow it to conflagrate, as it were. And so, that said, the back-end meetings and behind-the-curtain meetings and, as it were, rapprochement will still be going on. It's not for me to start labeling or start disclosing whatever efforts that have been made in order to ensure that this is fully and totally restored to the states.
It does look to me that to glide away from answering my first question, that your party looks like a disastrous house right now, Darlington, because you have a governor, you have a deputy in the same party with lawmakers, and your party members are moving for impeachment against. Your party is in a disastrous mood right now, isn't it?
I do not think so. If you say so, then you are trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. It is not true.
The removal of a governor is.
You must understand.
The removal of a governor is as minute as that to you.
No, it is not. I have mentioned earlier on that given the constitutional provisions, that this is a very serious constitutional matter. The removal of the governor is not just the mere sacking of a state governor. It entails the reversal of the decision of hundreds of thousands of persons who have voted for him. And so it is a serious matter. It's as serious should be. It's like an emergency.
But how can your party, look, you are a leader in the APC, Darlington. How can your, just a moment, how can your party, just a moment, Darlington, how can your party look on? Are you not seeing what is happening? Did you guys see that this was going to happen? How can your party sit by and see members of your party? That's a major political flaw in your party. How can members of your party want to remove the number one member of your party from seat?
Now, Mr. Shehu, you must have to agree with me. Now, I know you are aware that these are issues, these are fratricidal issues that is dovetailing into our party. And these are issues that we are occurring within the People's Democratic Party. And so it is as if we have inherited these challenges. And I have assured you earlier on that with the intervention of the leader of our party and the president of the nation, that this issue will be sorted out once and for all. It will not go the full hog. I want to assure you, this is a political issue. This is a political disagreement. And so you must see it in that light. Yes, it does have legal implications and constitutional implications. But I want to assure you that it will be handled in the way and manner that Nigerians will be happy for it, and Rivers State will be able to move forward from where we are today, present.
Now, give us an understanding. What is the political undertone to these proceedings that began today? What do you, I mean, honestly speaking, and a lot of politicians are not known to be telling the truth, but I don't know you as such, but honestly speaking, what do you think is behind all of this? Who is the big hand behind the proceeding of wanting to remove Governor Fubara? Who is behind it?
Now, let me say this again. You must understand the fact that when there are disagreements, what people refer to as hangovers, when there are issues that involves people's psychomotor domains, it is very difficult for you to flog them into line. As full-blown adults, you don't do such things. And so it requires plenty of massaging of egos. This is an ego war. It's an ego battle. If you like, you permit me to say so, because you rightly said that I'm not into the business of lie telling, and I'm not trained to do so. So I am trying to tell you today that whether you believe or you imagine, or Nigerians imagine that there is a big hand outside of the chambers of the State House of Assembly who is interested in removing the governor, the fact remains that under the provisions of the Constitution, 1999 Constitution as amended, the State House of Assembly is empowered to do checks and balances, is empowered to do oversight, is empowered to do investigations, is empowered to confirm projects. And so these are legislative functions, and they are also empowered to represent their constituents. So you cannot just, try railroading everything or try cherry picking, given the situation of things. Like I said before, I would not dive into the arena of trying to conflagrate the already tense situation.
Now, when you say it's a game of ego, who are the players involved?
Everybody, as far as stakeholding in Rivers politics is concerned, even the persons who've never heard of being interested in what is happening in Rivers State, everybody that is a politician in Rivers State is interested in how the state is being run, is interested in how the state is being managed, is interested in who is sitting as governor, and who is interested in going for what position. This is politics, for crying out loud. And people are interested in who gets what, when, and when.
Well, I mean, what do you make of the allegations? Similar to what the allegations in March of last year. Do you think that Governor Fubara is guilty of this?
Assuming without conceding that he is guilty, we all know the facts, and I've earlier on admitted so, that this is all about political interest. And so we cannot sweep it under the carpet that it is more of political disagreements, more of political disagreement than any other thing. So you must understand and realize the fact that at the end of the day, this issue will be resolved politically and amicably, and the state will move forward.
Give me a moment, everyone. We'll go on a break, and when we return, we'll be getting more perspective. This time around, a balanced one, and the real reasons behind this impeachment move, whether legal or political, we'll be finding out after this break. Is a political war resumed in Rivers State? Well, when they say when two elephants fight, what happens to the grass? In this case, governance in a major election year is seeing a very interesting dynamics. Rivers State Assembly stands on this one. The spokesperson of the House will be speaking with us after this break, everyone. Join us again.
In this life, it's what you do behind that shows in front.
Now, give us the fire. Tell us more. It's Cosmo or nothing. Luxury or not. It's Cosmo.
That's why I roll with Cosmo deodorant. No sweat, no stains, no odor.
Now you know.
Cosmo Roll-On Whitening Deodorant.
All day freshness, 7 days a week from GVS Cosmetics.
My baba, they always say, for market, every day gets your own wahala. Sometimes people go on scam you. But Baba say, no be by gra. You must cool down, dey sharp. Because with OPay payment, your money go enter sharp, no story. But inside market, anything fit happen. One day, we no see phone again. My Baba remember OPay USSD lock, dial *955*131#. Baba press and lock account. From market woman to driver, from small boy to big man. Now OPay, they protect people like us. My Baba fit sell, press phone, collect POS, and still they teach me price. And when they don't tire, go just tap OPay night guard. We no fear for this our hustle life. Now OPay be the people payment shield.
Dr. Abdulaziz Olajide Adediran Jandor invites all interested Lagosians to participate in the All Progressive Congress APC membership e-registration commencing 5th January 2026. This initiative enables new members to join the party and existing members to revalidate their membership seamlessly via the APC-approved electronic platform across all the 376 wards in Lagos State. Requirements: National Identity Number (NIN), Permanent Voters Card (PVC). Jandor seeks the full participation of all interested Lagosians in this exercise that strengthens grassroots inclusion and deepens participatory democracy across Lagos State. This message is sponsored by Jandor.
APC Progress.
Malaria is gone.
What is wrong with my husband?
Ma, he was very sick. This is the lab result.
Thank you, Luther. With Luther, malaria is in big trouble.
Luther contains artemether and lumefantrine, and it is used to treat malaria.
Luther is another quality product from Hovid and marketed by Pharmatex Nigeria Limited.
What makes a true leader in the game? Is it being the first to start? For over a decade, one name has always led in front. That name is Bet Niger. Bet Builder, Bet Freeze, One-Up, Bet Boom. Not just features, but unbeatable odds on over 300,000 live matches. Playing to win. Just another reason why Bet Niger is truly Nigeria's number one. Bet Niger, truly number one.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. We've been talking about the political situation in Rivers State when the House of Assembly earlier today began an impeachment proceedings against Governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, and his deputy, Professor Odu. And Darlington Waju, he's the spokesperson of the APC in Rivers State. He's been speaking with us. Let's now, hear from the other side, which is the House of Assembly, for their reasons for doing that. I'm being joined by the spokesperson of the House of Assembly in Rivers State, Honorable Anemi George, who is joining us virtually live. Thank you so much, Honorable, for joining us tonight on the program.
Honorable Doctor, please.
Oh, yeah, PhD, isn't it?
Thank you,
Doctor.
Cheryl.
Oh, you're a medical doctor?
Thank you for having me.
Are you a medical doctor or a PhD?
No. I hold a PhD, sir.
Oh, that's good.
In political science and public administration.
Fantastic, yeah. So let's take you to the terrain you know too well. First and foremost, is this a political witch hunt or what? We've seen this happen less than a year, and we thought that all has been resolved. Some of you even left your PDP and you moved to the APC. What exactly is going on?
Sheon, first of all, it is irresponsible and very, very reprehensible for anyone to assume or assert that the impeachment move that we have done in accordance with Section 186 of the Constitution is political. There is nothing we have said in this impeachment that Nigerians do not know. Sheon, the governor is in breach of numerous aspects of the Constitution. In breach of Section 125, which says there must be 125 and 126 that provides for an Auditor General of the state and then audited accounts of the state. Since the inception of this administration, Sheon, the law says audited accounts must be presented to the House of Assembly. It has never been done. I challenge anyone to show me proof that that has been done. The governor is in breach of Section 192, which says that commissioners' nominations must be sent to the House of Assembly, and the House of Assembly shall screen and approve for the governor. The governor is running ministries with friends who were never appointed or sworn in, and then they allow the permanent secretaries to sign. The governor is in breach of the Rivers State Fiscal Responsibility Law, which says that there must be a medium-term expenditure framework upon which the budget of the state must be built. Since the inception of this administration, there has never been a budget. We never had a budget for 2024. We never had for 2025, 2026. We still do not have. The question I want to ask is that who is going to take responsibility for the public funds that are being spent? Billions of Rivers funds, our Commonwealth, are being spent on daily basis, and then nobody's asking questions. When we were elected, we took an oath of office, and then we swore to protect the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That's the ground norm. The reason why there is no public disorder, there's no breakdown on law and order, is because there's a Constitution, and people abide by the laws of the land, by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended. What the governor has done is that he has jettisoned the Constitution. He's running a state government from his bedroom, spending from his back pocket funds that are meant for hospitals, for schools, for people of River State. Since the removal of subsidy, our allocations have tripled, but the people are not feeling it. People keep saying the presidency is not doing anything, but who has asked, what are we doing with River State funds? The governor has no power to go out of the Constitution to act. So please, sir, nobody should reduce this to a mere political battle or a battle of egos. We're talking law here. We're talking the Constitution. If we say that we are a country that operates the law, that we are subject to the dictates of the Constitution, then every right-thinking Nigerian must be our side. Because if we don't act now, we're going to set a very dangerous precedent. Very soon, you're going to see governors acting without legislature, acting without judiciary. Shehu, let me remind you, you have a strong background in law. There is what we call a horizontal separation of powers. That means that three arms of government are equal. Now, for the reason of checks and balances, that's why there is separation of powers among the tripartite arms of government. And so, when one arm usurps the responsibility of the other arms, then we are heading towards a dictatorship, towards a totalitarian system, towards an autocratic system. If we claim to practice democracy, yeah. Thank you.
You've explained on the surface what we know, but Nigerians are very discerning. There is no one that cannot, I've refreshed the memories of a lot of Nigerians, those who may not remember the political journey, at least in the last 2.5 years or so in Rivers State. At what point did you and your colleagues now discover that Governor Fubara is in breach of the law?
So let me remind you, there are political solutions to even issues of governance, issues of economics, issues of international relations. There are political solutions. So certain times we have intervening variables. There are times when leaders of thought, high-ranking government officials can intervene with a bid to solve problems. And that's where the president came in. I hold the first degree in political science and public administration. I hold a master's degree in business administration. I hold a master's degree in international relations. I hold a PhD in political science before I went to study law. In all of my studying, most of my work life, I was a banker. I have never seen such recklessness. The president came the first time, intervened, and the governor said it was a mere political solution. That was his own word. Every term of the agreement, he went against. That was a political solution to a constitutional problem. The second time, the president intervened again. Let me tell you something, Sheung. During the state of emergency, the president sent the administrator of the state administrator to interface with the House of Assembly and say, look, guys, we don't want problems anymore. The whole essence behind the state of emergency will be defeated if at the end of this emergency, we don't have a functional government. So please, can you guys go back and reconcile with the governors so that after this, we can have a functional system, all three arms of government functioning optimally. And then the members of the House of Assembly told Abbas, that was the first and only time I sat with Abbas, that, sir, go back and tell the president, we love him, we respect him. We have a good relationship with him, we're going to work with him. But if he brings Sim Fubara back, all 27 of us will resign. Let him run the governor. Let him run the government, let it be a sole administratorship. No problems. And then Abbas took the message back to the president. The president now intervened personally, sent representatives. The time we were taken to Abuja for a meeting, we were surprised. They opened the door, the guys from the presidency were there, and then we saw Fubara. Almost all the members got angry and walked out. But the minister of FCT walked in and locked us in and said, this is the last day of this thing. We must settle. Those are political intervening variables. And so when you have such interventions, sometimes you are allowed to relax certain rules. Now, the state of emergency did not come to erase the sins of the past. If the entire essence of the state of emergency has been defeated, if this recalcitrance, this incorrigibility cannot be solved, if this recidivist nature cannot be healed, then what are we talking about?
So, Honorable, so you're saying that, yes, just for a moment, you're saying that the sins of Governor Fubara, all of what you've described as his offenses and the allegations against him, they are in abeyance, but you thought that there was going to be changes, but there are no changes. Is that the situation? That the governor had not changed?
That there will be change.
But he hasn't changed.
There are two levels of sins now. So there was the pre-state of emergency sins and the post-state of emergency sins. The pre-state of emergency sins, we had hoped that in the interest of our state, we can come back and work together. If you remember, immediately after the state of emergency was lifted, we came into a session and called on the governor to please bring an appropriation bill. Let us pass it for him. Why did we do that? We know, we are sensitive. We understand that during the state of emergency, the National Assembly passed a budget for the sole administrator. And so we understand that the governor didn't have inputs. That budget doesn't really reflect the interests and whims and aspirations of Rivers people. We know that the governor has his own vision, his own plans for the state. So we said, in order to accommodate your plans, your visions, your aspirations for Rivers people, bring an appropriation bill so that we can pass it for you, so you can continue with your government in the interest of our people. While we prepare for 2026, we said bring your list of commissioners. Whoever you want to appoint is not our business. Let's screen them for you.
But honestly speaking, Honorable Judge, you're saying tonight, and you're telling Nigerians, and this is on record, millions of people are watching tonight, and whatever you say with your pedigree and your profile, a lot of people will hold on to it. And you're saying that the FCT minister does not have a hand in all of what is going, and you guys are just doing what is plainly legal. Is that the case? The FCT minister doesn't have a grouse. In fact, with what we are seeing on the tour of the minister in Rivers State.
Sheung, you are pouring oil inside water. and those who don't mix, unless you boil it. Listen, the FCT minister is a politician. We should not mix. If we begin to mix politics and constitutional matters, we'll begin to cause problems that
but the FCT minister is your political leader. You are aligned to him, and most of you, the Amawule and the rest of you, are aligned with the FCT minister.
Listen,
is that a fact or not, Honorable?
I am not a party chief. You called me here today to speak as a spokesperson of the Rivers State House of Assembly, not the spokesperson of PDP or APC or the Rainbow.
But yeah, are you politically aligned with Minister Wike? Are you politically aligned with the FCT minister or not, Honorable?
Listen, Seun.
Are you or not, Honorable?
Personally, I am politically aligned with the FCT minister. But Seun, it's insulting to reduce activities of an institution created by the Constitution to just politics or to an individual. Unless you're telling me that the House of Assembly is an appendage of the family of Yezom Wike. He's the minister of FCT. He's our political leader. Please, sir.
Let me ask you. Sorry. Let me ask you. And I like you, honestly speaking, tonight, I like you to tell the truth to Nigerians, if you can, please. Is it true or not that the governor rejected some of what some of you wanted to insert, allegedly coming from your political leader, into the budget, which the governor rejected, and that's where the whole crisis started? True or false?
Seun, I say with every element of conviction and sincerity that there was never a time. There was never, in fact, that such a conversation has not even happened yet. I'm telling you that the governor has not even come to discuss about budget or appropriation or supplementary budget. No responses. So we haven't even gotten to a point where we will have the opportunity to insert or no insert. We have not even moved up to that point yet. There has never been a conversation that, look, guys, give me some more time. I'm going to bring the budget. Is voluminous. We're working. I need more time. There is no conversation. Total silence. No responses to our calls. Nothing. So when you say that he refused to insert our interest, we've not even moved up to that level where we say.
Are you one of those who rejected the supposed money sent to your accounts for the festivities?
I am the spokesperson of the House of Assembly. I did the press release, yes, and we did that based on principle. There's no constitutional provision for that. How do you defend it? In the budget that National Assembly passed for ABAS, there's nowhere that they said that there will be Christmas gifts to who and who. We didn't reject it because the money is too small. We rejected it because I don't want to go to prison. There is no constitutional provision for such a money. Which constitution? Which appropriation law backs it? Look, Seun, we are dealing with public funds. These funds do not belong to my father or mother or my sister or you, my brother, Seun. They belong to people, Rivers people, in the nooks and crannies of Rivers State, in the villages, chiefs, men, women. So who will pay for it? Who will take responsibility for those public funds? We don't have a budget for 2024, not for 2025, not for 2026.
Honorable, tell Nigerians tonight, if you may, please.
Yes.
Whatever that is going on, there are those who think that this move is to shake the governor such that it will get to the table and negotiate with the political stakeholders in the state. And those who say the same thing that happened the last time will happen. You guys will never see this through because this is just a political gimmick to shake down the governor. And I'm going to ask you, could there be a political solution to this from the point of view of you and your colleagues to halt the proceeding on impeachment move against Governor Fubara?
Sure, I very sincerely, I doubt that. Because we've had one too many political solutions. You see, you're asking the same question with different words. When I live here and I go out there and I wear my Renewed Hope cap and my APC uniform, then you can ask me about politics. But it diminishes the institution of the Rivers State House of Assembly if you say that everything that we do is because of politics. Even if you want to play politics, you must play politics according to the law, within the confines of the law. If you allow yourself to have infractions, to breach the Constitution, and then people play with the windows that you have created. You can't blame anybody. But right now, what we're talking about is the law.
So you and your colleagues, Honorable, you and your colleagues are bent on removing the governor and the deputy. Is that right? And you will see it to the very end.
Sheon, I said earlier today that the governor is a recidivist. In legal parlance, you know, a recidivist is somebody who commits the same crime over and over again. He's punished or forgiven. He comes back. He commits the same crime. So what's the need for a political solution when today you will still do the same thing again? Sheon, imagine that in your states, a governor brings his cousin to sit on the seat of the commissioner, not appointed, not screened, and then the governor is giving the man is giving instructions, not appointed. So imagine that the governor wakes up, spend public funds as though they were his personal money.
So you are saying, Honorable, my question is that are you seeing this to the very end? Because I imagine that President Bola Tinubu, although he's not in the country, he comes back, the political leader of your party, comes and says, oh, you guys, stop that. That could happen. As the leader of your party, wouldn't you guys stop?
Sheon, the president is a human being who feels like you, who smells like you, who has senses. I'm sure the president, wherever he is, will be very insulted. The first time the president intervened, he was insulted. They said it was a political solution that was not binding. The second time, the president went through hell to assemble stakeholders to broker this peace. And then somebody goes back again and reneges. You can't keep breaking the law and expecting the president to come to your rescue. The governor was out there bragging that we should not worry. Whenever he's ready, the president will give us instruction to pass his budget for him. I mean, that's insulting to the president.
Honorable, is this about Inyendeba? Agreement is agreement. Is that the cause of this problem? Is it a matter of Inyendeba?
I think I think you are in the wrong profession. You should be a comedian or a clown.
Oh, really?
Because I don't know how.
Does it sound funny, Honorable? Does it sound funny? I'm sorry if this sounds funny, but it's a very popular language in your political firmament in Rivers State. Don't you hear it?
You are reducing very, very serious constitutional issues to mere comedy. And I think it's not fair to Rivers State. You shouldn't be doing this. This is a very serious issue. We're talking about the lives and livelihood of a people. We're talking about institutions of a state. It's the creation of the Constitution.
Honorable, do you feel this as a sign, whatever happened today, as a member of the APC, do you see it as a sign of betrayal? Do you see yourself betraying your political party in which you just joined? Do you see yourself as a betrayer?
I sit here, I'm speaking as a spokesperson of the House of Assembly, not as a party chieftain. So I would want you to restrict your conversations to the activities of the House of Assembly, which I represent.
But you represent your party in the House.
Anything outside that,
and you're a member of the party, and you are supposed to uphold the interests of the party on the floor.
The party is a vehicle. The party is a vehicle. Once I enter that chambers, I sit on behalf of the people of Asatoro Constituency 2. And once I sit here, I speak on behalf of the 27 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly.
Give me a moment, Honorable, give me a moment. I would love to know, for you, this is a fight to finish, isn't it? You will follow the law and you push this to the very end. Is that what you and your colleagues are up to?
We are not fighting. We are protecting the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to avoid the breakdown of law and order, to avoid anarchy. We must set the record straight. We must respect our Constitution. Right. We swear an oath to that, Chair.
Okay, hold on. Just give me a moment, Honorable. Let me allow Mr. Nwaju to give his final thought and perhaps a response. Maybe he can be able to do that in 30 seconds. Honorable Nwaju, you heard what Honorable Judge said. You muted yourself, Honorable Nwaju. Can you unmute? Oh, dear. But for a lot of Nigerians who do not know, let me show you what this process, just in few seconds, the process of impeachment. It will begin, is a process that is backed by Section 188 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, amended. It begins with what we saw today, and based on gross misconduct allegation. And this is supposed to go through to the very end, and Deputy Governor is supposed to take over if the Deputy Governor is not involved. But the Deputy Governor is involved. From the moment of the allegations, the Governor is allowed as a step 2 to respond. From responding, the House will sit and look at what the Governor has responded to. Fair hearing must be adhered to. From that, the Chief Judge of the state will then be allowed to convene or constitute a committee that will sit on these. All of these processes, if you see to the end, could lead to the impeachment of the Governor. But in all of this, we've seen it happen a few times in the recent political history of Nigeria. But well, we'll see how this plays out altogether in Rivers State. But I must thank you both, Honorable Enemy Labo George. Thank you so much for your time tonight. I appreciate it. The spokesperson for the Rivers State House of Assembly. And Honorable Darlington Awoju is the spokesperson of the APC in Rivers State. Thank you so much, gentlemen, and thank you all viewers.
He's not a spokesperson of the APC, please. He's not known to Rivers State APC. I don't know who that is, please.
Your party is in such a mess.
We don't know him.
But well, I just hope that you guys will be able to clean things up and for the interest of the people of Rivers State. Thanks so much indeed, everyone. I'm sure what came out of it. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you, sir.
Hello and thank you for joining us. You're watching News Track and Channels Television.